What's up guys, HK here, bringing you a review on the Star Wars Rebels Season 2 episodes. Last time I did episodes for, I think, the premiere and 1, 2, and 3, or technically 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, if you count the premiere episodes as part 1 and 2. So yeah, I've got the remaining episode to do, right? So yeah, the next 4 episodes are your sort of character development filler storylines. So in other words, these ones don't really tie into the big goings on of the series, basically the main storyline. So they're kind of separate story arcs that are used to develop the characters a bit and introduce new characters that may or may not come back. So yeah, the first one is with Ezra, and you know, he's been training with Kanan and Rex, and there's a bit of a kind of power play here. You know, Rex wanting to train him as a soldier, and Kanan wanting to train him as a Jedi. And Ezra, you know, has got all these responsibilities now. He's doing this, he's doing that. You know, being ordered to clean the ship. You know, he's a kid for Christ's sake, but you know, he's being forced to do all of this crap. And to be fair, he needs to grow up, and because the world he's living in is not a very good world. And in the end of the day, he did decide to join them and become part of this team. So you know, he made his bed and he has to lie in it. But at the same time, you can kind of understand the stress he's going through, having to do so much at his age. But you know, that's what it is, man. You can't really argue on it. You gotta get on with it. And the episode kind of goes with him kind of running away and meeting Hondo. Well, he doesn't run away. He goes to help Vizago, like, because he owns him, that thing that he said he was going to do for him. Apparently there's a signal that comes through, so he goes to help him out, and he finds that Hondo, ladies and gentlemen, has taken over the ship. Hondo, a character from the Clone Wars. See, this is one of the things I love about the season so far, the way it's bringing past characters into this who never really got a resolution. So it's nice to see that, and it was great seeing Hondo's character again. He was always one of those characters I really enjoyed and liked, so it's nice to see that he's alive and kicking, as it were. And the interactions they have together is just, it's priceless. It's funny. Like, one of the things I can say about this season is that the jokes and the humor are a bit more balanced and less childishly done than it was in the first season, because the first season really annoyed me with some of its humor. I mean, it reminded me of some of the crappy humor we had in the Clone Wars, especially with some of the more children-focused episodes. And yeah, it just wasn't done really well. But season 2 so far has managed to find, in my opinion, a right balance of the humor, the way, you know, characters would react if they're, you know, friends and working together and they're in a team. So I like that. And some of the jokes, especially that Hondo was throwing out, I thought were very hilarious. Kind of like how he's telling Ezra that he should become a pirate Jedi. That was fun. And one of the references he made to about having a friend who was a Jedi, or at least he thinks they were friends. So I guess that's a reference to Obi-Wan Kenobi. That would be great if Hondo and Obi-Wan like reunite or met up and had some sort of deal like going on in Tatooine. That would be great, I think, for an episode if they did that. But I don't know, we'll have to wait and see in it. And yeah, the overall episode I thought was decent in terms of how it wrapped up. I mean, there was a bit of a rushness to it, involving some droids and Ezra getting like the control switch for them and giving it to Vizago, who obviously was going to betray him. But yeah, that's some of the stupid writing, I guess, for it. But overall, I thought it was a decent episode, and I'm hoping we do see Hondo again. And it did kind of develop Ezra's character a bit in terms of accepting responsibility and knowing his place in where he belonged in all of this. And maybe it's just me, but I felt like there was a bit of a foreshadowing going on with the whole, you know, the comment that Hondo made about him maybe becoming a pirate Jedi. Maybe that will happen. I mean, by the end of the series, only 2 things can possibly happen. All these characters are either going to die, or they're going to go their separate ways and live their own lives quietly, you know, without getting involved in all the big crap that goes on with the Rebels and the Empire. So, you know, imagine if Ezra does become a pirate, but a Jedi pirate. That would be funny, really. But yeah, we won't know until we see where it leads. I mean, I do kind of feel these characters are gonna die, maybe. But the next episode after that was one that was focused on Hera, which was a welcome surprise, really, because I feel she's one of the more interesting characters. So it's nice for an episode that really focused on her and gave us a depth and it kind of explained why she wanted to become a pilot in the first place. So that was really nice. And you know, if you remember, like, her character was sort of introduced in the Clone Wars, so we did see her, and she does make references to that moment when the clones came and rescued her planet and her family and that. So again, nice with the references there. But one of the things that kind of peeved me about the episode was the introduction of a new ship that they get, a new fighter battalion ship that breaks through blockades. And on one hand, the design and the action scenes with the ship were brilliantly done. On the other hand, the thing was a bit too overpowered. I mean, it's got this weapon that like a mini Death Star laser that was used to blow a Star Destroyer apart. I mean, what? Like, how the hell do the rebels have... I mean, it's a prototype, yeah, but by the end of the episode, I think they meet with Bail Organa, and you know, the scientist that made that prototype, he gets assigned to... Very cute character design, by the way, very funny and very mental as well at the same time. Mad scientist type, but very funny. But yeah, like, he gets assigned to build more of these things, and you have to wonder, how does this fit into the canon, because we don't ever see these kind of ships again. So, you know, in my opinion, the only logical thing they can do with this storyline is maybe explain that, maybe have a storyline where this scientist guy gets captured, and, you know, the ship's weapons, whatever, are the prototype or bases used in creating the Death Star laser, maybe? Or maybe perhaps the prototypes were being built on Alderaan, and, well, maybe, you know, when Alderaan got destroyed, all of those prototypes pretty much went dead as well. But still, it's a bit of annoyance to have something so powerful in the show. And the other annoying thing is, you don't see the ship again after this episode. It just kind of disappears. And that's one of the problems I have with this episode, and especially in terms of why I say it's kind of like a filler. Because, like, nothing really goes back to... I mean, one of the major things that happens, actually, is that Hera is promoted to a captain. And she becomes, like, the new squad leader for the rebel fighters. You know, the plane flight fighters, if you will. So... I guess that's one major thing they did that works well. But other than that, yeah, there was a bit of, yeah, like, what happened to the ship, why haven't we seen it, and how does this tie in, how is this going to fit with the canon when you've got a powerful ship that can take down destroyers on one laser beam? I mean, explain. The episode after that was Sabine focused, and I like Sabine. I think she's a decent character who I would like to see more of. The fact that she came from Clan Pre Vizsla, I think, you know, Vizsla was the dude that got killed by Darth Maul, wasn't he? So, I mean, is she related to them? Is she perhaps Satine's niece, maybe? You know, because Queen Satine had a sister, right? And she escaped. Maybe they're related. I don't know. But again, it would be nice if there's some sort of connection there. This episode in particular, in terms of the action and interaction, I guess, was a bit fun. You had her running into a long-lost friend called Ketsu. And one of my favourite parts was with the stormtroopers, like them coming in and trying to, you know, wondering what the heck's going on, diffusing the situation, and then everything just goes nuts, and all of them work together to take down the stormtroopers and escape at the same time. And you've got this bit of a friendly, kind of sisterly rivalry going on between the two, and by the end, everything is fine. Again, that's one of my pet peeves. Like, this could have been a storyline they could have easily had going on throughout the season, but instead it's just... It's like it's all wrapped up very quickly. Like, oh, 1 minute we're enemies. 1 minute I'm gonna try and kill you. The next minute I'm gonna save you, and now we're all friends and buddy. And yeah, I might help you in the future, and I'll see you again and stuff like that. It was a bit too much. Though one of the great things about this episode was I guess Chopper, because you know he gets his moment to shine here. He gets his moment to shine in a lot of these episodes, in fact. But yeah, it was nice to see him get involved and doing some crazy things like sabotaging Ketsu's ship. And yeah, just the distraction plan that Sabine kind of used in order to get away from the Empire, that was fun. But yeah, overall, not a bad episode so far, 3 episodes in. They're not bad episodes, but they're not great either. You know, you want to get back to the main story. The 4th episode after that was kind of... I guess this one you could say was more Kanan and Rex focused, because it involved a new ship designed by the Empire that pulls other ships from hyperspace. Like, it tracks onto them and pulls them out. That was a bit... Again, that's another thing that's a bit weird. I mean, how does the Empire have access to this kind of technology when they didn't have access to it before? Again, this was a prototype and they do destroy it at the end, but still, it's a bit meh. And this episode focuses on Rex and Kanan, and I think, yeah, Rex and Kanan trying to rescue Captain Saito and Ezra, who were captured and were caught in that tractor beam. And Ezra, there's a funny conversation here where Ezra pretty much tells Saito that everything will be fine, that he always gets captured, and like the episode I guess was to show how capable Ezra is as a character, because he manages to escape without any help whatsoever, which impresses Saito and all the others, and makes Saito look up at Ezra even more, because he was kind of looking down at him, wondering if he was just a kid or not. But by the end, he's like, oh, well, he's really impressed and shocked that this kid managed to pull this off. But again, the main focus really here is between the growing trust and friendship, I guess, between Kanan and Rex. And they do make a New Hope reference in terms of how they end up disguising themselves as stormtroopers, which I thought was very well done. You got a clone trooper disguising himself as a stormtrooper and making remarks and about how the suit is a bit too tight and that. So and how they can't even see through the helmet. So that's funny actually, how the references there. Overall, decent episode, because by the end, Kanan kind of let go of his hate and mistrust, and went in and saved Rex's life and got him out. And yeah, by the end of it, everyone's pretty much buddy and that. So I thought this was a decent episode in terms of developing Kanan and Rex's character together. So that was really fun. And yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of the separate character arc filler episodes for the first half of season 2. The next 2 episodes after that are more focused on continuing the main storyline. So yeah, I'm going to do a review separately on that. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed my reviews for these. They're not bad episodes. I mean, again, they're not Clone Wars, but it's decent. It could have been worse. If you're a fan of Star Wars, I'd say give it a go and watch. If you're a fan of Rebels, again, do watch it. It's nice. It's not bad. But those are just my opinions. They could have been worse, but they weren't that bad. But still, you wanna get on with the main storyline and that. So I'm hoping that's what they do once the season comes back. But anyway, yeah, I hope you like this review. Like, subscribe as usual, whatever. I shall see you when I shall see you. Take care and bye.